Hey everybody, it's Shaniqua from What Shaniqua's Into, and if you are here from the collective reading for the month of November, hi. If not and you missed that one, I will link it up in the card so you can click on that and get some guidance for the month of November. But what we are about to do is jump into some tarot cards and do a mini reading for each of the 12 signs of the zodiac, starting at Aries and going all the way to Pisces, okay? So the deck that I'm using right now is the Sawyer's Path Tarot. I just got this in the mail yesterday and I love these cards. Like I first of all, this deck is really responsive. I was doing the excuse me. I was doing the initial shuffle just to mix the cards up, and I was thinking little questions to myself. And every time I would think a question, a card would flip out that perfectly answered what I was thinking. And so I'm shuffling again, and I'm like, "You're really responsive, huh?" Kind of joking with the deck. And Knight of Swords flips out. So if you know tarot, it was just kind of like, oh, so you're responsive, you're really quick, but you're also like playful. And it's kind of funny because Jamie Sawyer, the creator of this tarot, describes it as a very playful deck. What does she say? Sawyer's Path is a colorful exploration of the fool's journey through the arcana. It's playful, vibrant, and full of crystals. And I can confirm that the colors are very vibrant, and the deck itself is really playful. I don't normally select my cards by letting them fall out while I'm shuffling, mainly because I just feel like that drags the process out of a tarot reading, and I know from experience trying to do it that way, I'll end up getting frustrated if I'm trying to do a spread with more than just a few cards and I'm just waiting for cards to flip out. So then I'm like rough with my deck and I just don't want to do that. But these cards are snappy. They are quick with the answers, and I just love the way Jamie Sawyer colored them. I think she did most of the art with like markers, like, and then the card stock. I know this isn't supposed to be a review, but I really like this deck. So I've already been rambling for 2.5 minutes. So let's go ahead and shuffle so we can start pulling cards for the signs, okay? Fun fact, I first learned the zodiac signs from that Beyonce song. I don't even know what it's called. It's not called Zodiac. Is it every sign? It's old. I want to say it's on Dangerously in Love, maybe. But it's like, she starts at Capricorn instead of Aries, and she goes, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius. I love all y'all. I love that song. And that is how I first learned all the different signs of the zodiac. So sometimes I still kind of sing that song in my head to make sure that I'm listing the signs in the right order. So if anybody out there is struggling to learn all 12 signs and what order they go in, you can use that Beyonce song and just start at Aries so that you're starting with the first sign of the zodiac. All right, my Magician card just flipped out. So I think that the deck is telling me it's good and shuffled and ready to go. So I am going to do 3 riffles. I'm going to cut the deck, and then we will start pulling from the top for each sign. All right, that is 1. 2. And 3. Let's cut into 5 piles and start pulling. All right, Aries. What energy and advice is the tarot showing for you this week? Energy, King of Cups. Advice, 8 of Pentacles. All right, so Aries, this week, what you really need to focus on is if you are feeling angry at someone, if you are feeling vindictive or like you want to get revenge, or just snappy, irritated, annoyed, any sort of difficult emotion that might negatively impact someone else. If you're feeling anything like that this week, Aries, what I want you to do is focus on your work. Focus on, and if your job isn't something that you enjoy, pick a hobby or some sort of task that you enjoy doing. And whenever those difficult emotions come up, whenever someone triggers you or antagonizes you or does something to pull you out of character, I want you to focus on something that you can repetitively do, or your work and your career, and just put all of your focus and attention and energy on that. Because people that are trying to take you out of character and get a reaction out of you are way more negatively impacted when you go on about it and live your life, okay? Aries is the sign of I am. So whatever you're doing or feeling, you all embody to the fullest, okay? And if that's anger or sadness, or if you feel minimized or marginalized by someone else, you will really, really, really internalize that. And so I don't want you all to do that. You all are really good at picking jobs and activities that you enjoy. So focus on those, okay? Because whoever's trying to bring you down is just going to be mad that they couldn't even get your attention, okay? All right, Taurus, your energy is 10 of Cups. And your advice is Queen of Pentacles. What a lovely card combo, Taurus. And you guys are really like about the home and family and that type of stuff anyway. So this week, Taurus, is a really good time to spend time with your loved ones, to just really enjoy what they bring to your life, and to focus on the spaces that you're spending time with your loved ones in. If there's anything that you can do to beautify that space, to brighten it up, to kind of shake up stagnant energy, do that this week, because it's just going to bring you even closer to the people that you love the most, that you want to spend time with, that inspire you. We just talked about in the collective reading for the month of November how your environment can support or be a hindrance to just about anything, even being honest with people. So Taurus, you all are really good about, I don't want to say dictating the terms, but when you like something, you like something, and when you don't, you don't, and there's no in between, and there's no question. So make sure that you are making your shared spaces ones that are enjoyable to be in and foster closeness between you and your family. So if maybe you don't cook very often, but there's like that one dish that you're good at making and everybody likes, cook that for your loved ones this week. Or if you normally do like a deep cleaning of your house at a specific time of the year, but maybe a little bit of dust bunnies are gathering, or just because of the advice of the cards, you can give your house a deep cleaning. But really focus on making your environment one where people feel comfortable spending time with you and expressing their love to you, because it's just going to kind of be an energetic loop that will feed and sustain itself so long as the environment is fostering such, okay? So that's really awesome for Taurus this week. I'm happy to see those cards for you guys. Gemini, what we got? All right. Our energy is the Ace of Swords. And our advice, is the Five of Wands. So this can manifest differently for a lot of folks. The Ace of Swords is about clarity of thought and mental power and communication, like new ways of communicating. And the Five of Wands, because wands are passion, desire, and willpower, when you see five of them like crossing and kind of jockeying for who's going to be up at the top, this can be a battle of ideas. It can be brainstorming. It can be moments of creativity, and it can also be competition, and it can be conflict. If perspectives are too far apart from one another. So it can be difficult to find common ground. But with the Five of Wands, if we go back to the Rider-Waite depiction of this card, all of the figures holding these big batons are on very flat, even ground. There's nobody who's higher or lower than any of the folks that they're engaging with in this melee. So this week, Gemini, use your mental powers, which you have plenty. You're ruled by Mercury. You are a very good thinker and communicator if you choose to tap into those abilities. I want you to use your mental powers to discern if a situation is constricting you in order to squeeze some creativity out of you. I know that sounds weird, but if you think about it, diamonds are made under pressure, and sometimes conflict can give rise to really beautiful new understandings. And that's kind of what I'm picking up here with these two cards. There may be an opportunity to communicate a feeling or a set of thoughts that you've been having with someone who you've been hesitant to do so, maybe out of fear that it would anger them or upset them. This week, I just feel like whatever you may have been hesitating to verbalize or communicate in some way, yes, there may be a bit of like sticky, difficult to navigate energy around it, but you can in fact do it. So it's not as easy as the cards Taurus got, but Gemini, you are going to be able to sort of push through the feeling of constriction or I keep getting the sense of like a squeeze. I feel like energetically, Gemini, you may feel restricted, constricted, squeezed in, contracted. I feel like the energy of other folks around you may feel a bit oppressive at first, like maybe toward the beginning of the week. But then you'll be able to use this Ace of Swords, that mental clarity, those very strong, sharp words, if you choose to make them that way, to overcome that energy. Try and be tactful. Obviously, you don't want to cause anyone undue stress or turmoil. But at the same time, make sure that your boundaries are strong, and that that sort of overbearing, oppressive, competitive energy can then be used and wielded to feed your creativity and like bring more light to you. Okay? All right. All right. Cancer, your energy is 7 of Wands and your advice is 5 of Swords. All right, Cancer. So this tells me that you have been feeling like I just feel like there's people around you that always got some shit to say. Like no matter what you're doing, they always want to be like, oh, you bought some new shoes? Oh, where'd you get those from? Oh, how much did you spend on them? I didn't know you made that type of money. Or they'll be like, did you apply to work at such and such? I didn't even think you had like training for that. Like I just get the sense with the 7 of Wands, Cancer, that there are people around you that just always have to offer an opinion or a suggestion or some type of thought that they try and frame as like just regular conversation or being helpful, but you know and they know that they're really just being shady, that they constantly want to make you second guess yourself. Okay? And it can be very tempting in those situations to match that energy and give the same shit back when someone says, oh, you bought some new shoes, and instead of being like, yes, I did, being like, oh, you got a new wig, like, It can be very, very tempting. I'm sorry. I'm a goofball. It can be very tempting to match that energy, but in the advice of the 5 of Swords, this is asking, and this was actually the deeper lesson offered in our collective reading for the month of November. You will defeat yourself by engaging in behaviors that those energetically lower than you are trying to pull you into. Okay, you will defeat yourself because the 5 of Swords is about self defeat. It's about a Pyrrhic victory when you have to sacrifice more than it's worth it to win. Okay, so Cancers are incredibly kind, empathetic people in general, and you're not normally looking to be vindictive or vengeful or one up somebody, especially if it's a hater, you know. I just get the sense that you're tired of it, and these people or this person has been doing this for too long, and now you're just like ready to snap on them. But this week, try and rise above. Put some distance between yourself and those people, wherever possible, because you don't want to say something that may very well be deserved to the other person, but takes you out of character and leaves you feeling guilty against someone who didn't have your best interest at heart in the first place. Okay, so just take distance from those folks because there's nothing to be gained there. All right, Cancer. Leo, 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 Leo. Your energy is the Hanged Man, and your advice is the 5 of Cups. Okay, Leo. You guys had a set of rough cards last week as well. What's going on with my lovely Leos? All right, so the Hanged Man is a patient, waiting energy. It is the energy of, I'm not going to fight. I am just cool with what comes of this situation. I'm cool with what happens. I'm just hanging out until it's resolved, you know? And 5 of Cups is an indication of focusing on something that makes you sad, makes you feel like you've lost something. 5 of Cups often comes up after a loved one has passed away and you're in mourning, or something long term has ended in your life. And I get the sense that you may feel a bit numb. Almost like not giving up. It's not a giving up energy. It's just it's very still. It's just, I am where I am and I'm not trying to change it. But what I want you to do, Leo, is instead of looking at these 3 cups that are overturned and are empty and make you feel like you've lost something recently, and it may not just be a feeling of loss. You may have indeed lost someone or something that was very important to you recently, and you're just kind of in this energy of, I'm here. This is where I am. And what I want you to do this week, Leo, make a list. Make an actual, tangible, handwritten list of everything that you are grateful for. And I don't want you to think of big, huge things. Like, if you are grateful for doorknobs, and I'm not being funny right now, I want you to put doorknobs on that list. If you are grateful for the fact that you have socks that you can put on, put that on your list. And start really, really tiny until you gradually and naturally move into the bigger things in your life, like your children, your parents, the fact that you have a roof over your head, the fact that you have internet access, the fact that you have clean water. Okay, I really want you to focus on the 2 cups behind you that you're not seeing right now, that are full to bursting and vibrant and can help pull you out of this suspended state of sadness and possibly grief or regret. Okay, for those Leos that maybe are not feeling sad right now and just kind of feel stagnant, like things are not developing for you, or like you're just unsure of your direction in life right now, I want you to do the same thing, because Hanged Man is about perspective. So if your perspective has shifted to where you're just not sure of your direction right now, make a gratitude list. Start very, very small. I want you to make yourself laugh at the tiny things that you're grateful for and move on to bigger ones, because by the time you finish, you will feel better. And if you make this a daily practice, that's not to say you won't feel Hanged Man energy, but it will not have as tight of a grip on you, and it won't last as long, okay? All right, Leo. Virgo, your energy this week is Queen of Swords, and your advice is the Wheel of Fortune. All right, so Virgo, you all share a ruling planet with my sun sign, Gemini. You all are ruled by Mercury, and you all are highly analytical, and you are very good at picking out areas that could be improved systematically. Queen of Swords is all about delivering truth, regardless of how it is going to be received. She is really good at delivering difficult truths and really against coddling or sugarcoating. And the Wheel of Fortune is about cycles of change that are not necessarily initiated by humans, but that humans have to respond to. So that could be changes in the seasons, like the cycles of weather, and this could be political cycles. This could even be much grander things like astrological cycles. And so Virgo, there may come a conversation for you all this week that requires you to be analytical and to deliver a message or an analysis that someone doesn't necessarily want to hear, but that they need to. And many people won't like hearing what you have to say. So it could be difficult this week, but because the Wheel of Fortune is here, it's kicking off a cycle. So some may react positively, some may have no reaction at all, and some may be hurt or angered by your words. But so long as you are focusing on being truthful, not judgmental, there's a difference, okay? Low vibe Virgo energy is less analytical and more judgmental. It's like, from my perspective, I think you are this, and low vibe Virgo energy doesn't recognize that their thoughts are not facts. Okay? So be careful, because Queen of Swords can be bitchy and sometimes cruel with her words. So be very careful that you are being objectively analytical and not personally judgmental. But once you arrive at a conclusion about something, if an opportunity for conversation around that comes up, don't mince your words, okay? Be real and be considerate of people's folks with of people's feelings, of folks' feelings, without diminishing the truth of what it is that you have to say. It may shake things up for you in your life, but it's temporary, because with the Wheel of Fortune, it's a cycle and it will come to an end. So regardless of how they act, just remember to be analytical and fair and honest, and not judgmental and mean, okay? All right, Libra, your energy is Four of Swords, and your advice is the Hierophant. All right. So Libra, my lovely air sign Libras, you guys really like to be peacekeepers and scorekeepers as well, right? You're the sign of balance in relationships. So with Four of Swords being the energy that's ruling you guys this week, Libras, you've been overthinking about something, and you may have even recently had something said to you that hurt your feelings. because the preceding card is the Three of Swords, and then the Three of Swords is a big red heart that's stabbed through 3 times. So you may have had your heart space hurt by something from the realm of communication recently, or you've just simply been overthinking, overanalyzing, overbalancing something, and your mind needs a break. Right now, your mind, your ability to reason is in a weakened state. And whatever you have been mentally preoccupied with recently, you need to turn away from. You need to distract yourself. You need to make the conscious choice to rest, okay? Because in Four of Swords energy, it's a temporary rest in order to strengthen us to get back into whatever the circumstance is. Or to strengthen, if something has recently ended, to strengthen us so we can go on. But this isn't a give up type of energy. This is it is responsible to rest type of energy. And with the Hierophant as your advice, that tells me that your beliefs need to be challenged. This could be spiritual or religious beliefs, or it could be something that you've always accepted as true from your parents. Like prime example, money doesn't grow on trees. That's something that many, many children have heard growing up. And it's meant to indicate that we don't just have an abundance of money. So you can't just ask for any and everything that you want. And so with that belief as our example, someone may internalize that from their parents and grow up thinking that it is very difficult to earn money, or that it is next to impossible to save enough money to be comfortable. And of course, neither of those are true. So with the Hierophant showing up as your advice under the energy of the Four of Swords, you have been ruminating and thinking about something that may not be true, or at least not true for you, okay? Because there are such things as subjective truths. We tend to think about objective truths as the end-all be-all, but it is a fact that we all filter reality. So we can agree that 2 + 2 = 4, but we may not all agree that a tulip is prettier than a hydrangea, or whatever it may be. So there's some perspective, Libra, that you've been dwelling on that has just worn your mind and possibly even your heart down, that I'm thinking you may have inherited or accepted from someone else, be it a parent or some authority figure in your life, that needs to be questioned. It may not need to be abandoned altogether, although sometimes that is what the Hierophant shows up to let us know, that, hey, it's time to remove that framework. And sometimes it just needs to be tweaked or upgraded in some way. But you can't do that until your mind has the strength to do so. So stop thinking about whatever you've been dwelling on. Give yourself this week as time to rest and recharge and get rejuvenated. And then come back to this framework with a fresh perspective that says, this isn't chiseled in stone and I don't have to operate under this belief. So why am I? Is it helping me, or is it hindering me? Or is there some nuance in between that I can tweak it to make it the best it can be for me? All right, Libra. All right, Scorpio, my rising sign. Energy is 2 of Swords. Advice is 9 of Swords. Okay, Scorpios. So, 2 of Swords often indicates putting off a decision, or feeling like you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, or like the options available to you are equally good or equally bad, and so I just can't pick. I don't want to make the wrong choice, so I'm just not going to pick. That's the energy that you all are in this week. Sometimes this can also indicate diverging paths. And the 9 of Swords is stress and anxiety and worry and fear. In Libra, we were just talking about how they need a rest because they've been turning something over. Scorpio, you've been really, really stressing about doing this or that, to the point that like your health is being affected. If you're not sleeping, or if you are unable to disassociate yourself from your internal narrator, there's something that you need to face. Choosing not to choose is being harmful to you right now, Scorpio. You can see that here. So you need to make a decision. It's going to be different for each of you, but this is, this is tough. I feel like you all are afraid of either harming yourselves or choosing something that's going to lead you down a path of just like unhappiness. But what you're failing to see is that putting yourself in this limbo state is more harmful than choice A or B. So you just have to be okay with possibly making the wrong choice, because even if it is apparently wrong, you will have learned from it, but you can only do so after the choice is made, okay? So stop hurting yourself by trying not to hurt other people or trying not to be wrong. We're human. At some point, we're going to hurt other people. At some point, we're going to be wrong. But the point is to keep moving forward and try to be better each time. But trying to avoid being wrong by not choosing is just keeping you stagnant. So make the choice, Scorpio. You can do it. Sagittarius. Let's see. Sagittarius, your energy is the Fool. How cute is this little Fool card? And your advice is Knight of Pentacles. So Sag, there's a new beginning here for you. I want you to leave your preconceived notions in the past. I want you to leave your need to understand everything from a big bird's eye philosophical view. Leave that off to the side. And I want you to jump in feet first with a smile on your face and excitement. And once you get into the thick of this new journey, whatever it is for you, go slowly. Learn as much as you can as you're progressing. And just focus on being consistent. Focus on learning and doing in this new experience in a consistent way. Some of you could be starting a new relationship. I don't really get that from these cards, but it is possible. You could be moving. So in that case, if you're physically relocating, be very slow, careful, and deliberate about learning your new surroundings and the people that you are sharing them with. And some of you could be embarking on a new spiritual journey. Like you could be researching something that interests you spiritually. Again, the same advice applies. Go slow and be consistent. Yeah. And that's kind of difficult for Sagittarian energy, just because it's very like, their phrase in the zodiac is I aim, and they're normally represented by like a centaur who's holding a bow and arrow. This is a very determined sign, and once a Sagittarius has made up their mind to do something, to learn something, to experience something, that's where they're going. Like they're also a sign associated with travel. So there's a lot of movement in Sagittarian energy, and moving slowly and without a perfect map of the landscape they're traversing might be kind of like, I don't know. But Sagittarians also like adventure and new experiences. So I want you to think of this new start as a new adventure. And that part of the excitement is learning to move and navigate in a way that you might not naturally do, but that can help you learn things that you wouldn't if you were moving in your natural energy. Okay? So that is what I have for Sagittarius. All right. Capricorn, my moon sign. Energy is 7 of Pentacles, and advice is Page of Cups. Oh, Capricorn, what an awesome card combo. Okay. So 7 of Pentacles is about assessment and reaping the rewards of long-term work. But not quite yet. So 7 of Pentacles, you're sort of assessing whether or not something is turning out how you want it to. And once you've made that assessment, you are asking yourself if you should, if like the steps that you've taken to get to this point of assessment, have they, is the assessment favorable? Is this project moving forward at the pace that you predicted, in the way that you predicted? Are you happy with the results that you've gotten so far? Or do you need to ramp up your work? Are the results less than what you wanted? Do you need to approach your activities in a different way? Or is this something that you're just no longer passionate about? Is it something that you need to walk away from before you harvest it? That's 7 of Pentacles energy. And Page of Cups is the youthful, creative, super emotionally intelligent page of the tarot. They're emotionally intelligent with themselves and like what they are feeling. Sometimes Page of Cups energy can be maybe a little bit off-putting, not off-putting, but because that's a little bit more Knight of Cups. Page of Cups energy can be surprising. It can jar people because it's a very emotionally expressive energy. That's why if you look at this adorable little drawing up in his cute, or her, I'm not sure what gender this figure is supposed to be, but on top of their cute little watery hat, there's paint brushes like just sitting up there underneath, on top of a shell. And this is the card of the romantic, the painter, the sculptor, the artist, someone who is always learning and looking to channel their feelings into creative expression. And Capricorns, you all are very ambitious. You all are really hardworking and very serious, and I'm just gonna say it, not very emotionally expressive. At least not until someone has really proven that they are trustworthy and loyal. And so this week, I want you to look at some work that you have put in on a project or a job or a person. And I want you to ask yourself if you can open up. Because I get the sense that most of you will be able to. Capricorn, like I said, is a very serious sign. But you all do have very deep, deep emotions. Like you all feel things really intensely, almost like a Scorpio. Not quite, but you feel things on a very, very deep level. And until someone has really shown you that they're not going to get to that soft part of you and hurt you, you're going to put that rock up on that exterior and they'll just be like, dang, do they feel anything? And it's like, yeah, they do. So I feel like because the card of assessment and work put in is the energy of your week next to the advice of creative, emotional, honest expression, Capricorn, there's someone that you need to open up to this week. Possibly multiple someones. Could be a family member, could be a close friend, it could be someone you're romantically involved with or want to be romantically involved with. But most folks aren't mind readers. And even if they think you feel a certain way, you've got to confirm it. And they may think that you feel a way that you don't. So I want you to assess, get comfortable with the idea of expressing yourself, and then do so confidently. Do so with comfort, because you all are a smart sign and you know if someone is loyal or if they're bullshitting you. And so trust that once you've done that assessment, you will land on the right answer for yourself. And if there's someone in your life that you need to be more emotionally expressive with, do so. If you need to go to Walmart and grab a cheap canvas and some acrylic paints and like paint your feelings, or a sketchbook and some markers or whatever it is, there's a need for emotional expression this week after you've assessed that it is indeed safe to do so. Okay, Capricorn? So please do so, because it's not good to lock your emotions inside for too long. Aquarius, energy is Temperance, and advice is King of Wands. Now this is actually, let me lower my voice because I'm getting excited. This is perfect for Aquarius though, because Aquarius is the sign of like changing humanity for the better. And Temperance is the card of, Temperance is actually a very, very layered card. I mean, all of them are, but Temperance can indicate integration of two very, very different things. It can indicate alchemy, mixing things and creating something that's greater than the sum of its parts, something new, something magical, possibly from two mundane beginning elements. It can indicate the presence of the divine helping you in your endeavors. It can indicate a blessing, like the root word of temperance is a Latin word for time. And so it's like a blessed timing, like perfect timing helped by the higher realms. So it can represent a lot. It can represent a lot. But when I see Temperance next to King of Wands, what I see for Aquarius is this week you all have an opportunity to really push the people closest to you in a positive way. I know how like anticlimactic that was, but King of Wands is a charismatic leader. King of Wands really knows how to ignite the spark in other people. And so you may have some sort of platform, maybe a social media platform, maybe if you're a student, maybe it's like classmates, could be family, could be coworkers, but I'm really more so seeing like friends, like your peer group. And I feel like this week, Aquarius, you have an opportunity to be a blessing to the folks around you by delivering something like an idea, a notion, a goal that will combine the talents of different people to see it done. I feel like Aquarius this week, you're going to really blow people's minds with some of the things that you have to say. And it's going to create a really strong ripple effect. The reaches of you may not even see yourself. But I have a feeling this week that Aquarius, if you take the advice of our collective reading for November of the Queen of Swords, I I have a feeling that you are going to be like a thought leader this week. Like something that you say is going to really just have a really profound effect on the folks that you say it to. And it's going to make people completely change how they're moving through the world. Maybe not permanently, maybe cyclically. Could be temporarily, but I just have a feeling that you're going to inspire a lot of people this week, and that in doing so, you're going to create the perfect conditions for profound shifts in their lives and your own. So this week, my advice to you, Aquarius, is don't worry about coming off haughty-taughty. Don't worry about coming off like you know more than someone or like you're better than someone, because that's really not your energy. And I think that people will pick up on that you don't, that you're not being condescending and you're not trying to belittle anyone. But deliver the bold ideas that you have, because I think that you will be really surprised as to how well they are received and how far they reach. Okay? All right. Last sign, Pisces. And my nose is getting stuffed, so I apologize, guys. But last sign, Pisces. Your energy this week is Knight of Cups. And your advice is Knight of Swords. All right. So Pisces, you got two knights. You all are moving this week. You all are making very swift progress. So I apologize for that cut. My battery died, so I had to replace it, but we're good to go. So we left off on Pisces, and we were talking about how your energy this week is found in the Knight of Cups, and your advice is found in the Knight of Swords. So Pisces, this week there's a need to cut through bullshit for you guys. Because Knight of Cups is, I would say, the kindest, most empathetic knight of the tarot. All of the knights are about movement and progression and also communication, because they're all air combined with the energy of their suit. So the knight is going to be the kindest with their words and communication and their actions. They're going to be the most considerate. They're going to be trying to keep everybody happy in their act. Not necessarily happy, like joyful, but they don't want to make waves. You know, they don't want to rock the boat. Their air and water combo can kind of make a mist or a fog, and it can obscure the truth of a situation where maybe more discernment is needed. And that's why your advice this week is found in the Knight of Swords. Now, Knight of Swords is double air. Knight of Swords is a warrior. Knight of Swords is a debater. Knight of Swords is very, very intellectual and will fiercely defend their beliefs. And so this knight is essentially saying, Pisces, this week, I want you to look for the truth through the fog. If someone is peppering you with really kind, loving words and actions, that's not to say that they're being disingenuous. In some cases it could be, but you may think you feel a connection that isn't there. You may be reciprocating emotion that you're receiving that isn't within you by itself, isn't within you for this person or situation without it being triggered by the other party first. And so there's a need to be really, really clear and almost forceful with your communication in order to make sure that you are cutting through any bullshit that might be being presented to you. Excuse me. Um, Knight of Cups can also represent sort of escapist energy, like drinking too much or like getting high too much or something like that. And so, because Knight of Swords is so sober and somber and serious, this could also be a reminder to stay grounded or get re-grounded if you've been sort of floating for a while. Um, but I just feel like this week overall, Pisces, what Spirit is advising with these two cards for you is to just try and get as much clarity around any situation or person that has left you questioning that gut feeling that you have. Because there's, again, that fog, that murkiness, that obscurity that Knight of Cups can bring, wrapped up in a very loving, kind, empathetic presentation. So it can also be very fickle. Someone can be, someone who is really embodying Knight of Cups energy is following their heart. And the heart wants what it wants, but it also can change its mind very quickly. So you want to really practice that discernment and search for the truth. Because if you are feeling drawn to a person or a situation that has sort of put rose colored glasses over your eyes, the Knight of Swords is asking you to take those glasses off and just look at the facts of a situation without giving your feelings for it as much weight as you have been. Okay? So that is what I have for Pisces. And we have gone through all 12 signs of the zodiac. And I am just absolutely loving this deck. I could gush about it all day. So I sincerely hope that this reading was helpful. If you did enjoy it, make sure that you give me a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel and leave me some comments. I'm also going to post this on IGTV, so be sure to comment there and let me know if the reading resonated. And if you would like a personal reading, make sure that you go to my website, writingwithtarot.com, and you can purchase a spread. Or if you would like to have anything clarified before you do so, I would love it if you would DM me on Instagram or shoot me an email or use the contact form on my website. I'm pretty reachable, so you can find me. And other than that, I hope that you all have an excellent week, and I will see you in the next video. All right, bye.